You're done, Obito.
Darn it!
Nice strategy.
Obito. There, 2 o'clock.
Right. Fire style! Fireball jutsu! Yes! Huh?
Almost had me there.
But, Sensei, how did you...
Blew it again.
You've grown strong, the both of you. And I'm impressed with your teamwork. And now, for the next step... What timing?
Kakashi!
Sensei, today's the day I win! You've been hiding so long. Was that your strategy? No, it would be too hard to fight you while watching over these two.
That's why you were waiting for me to defeat them.
There. What? Whoa!
Not bad, but not enough to beat me.
I'm not through yet.
Shadow Clone.
This isn't complete, but... now I'll finish this!
I told you, didn't I? You can't beat me. You lose, Kakashi.
Wow. What incredible speed. That's when you...
I'd already consider you Jonin class. If I hadn't set that, there's no telling how this would have turned out. But you're not ready.
I was so close.
So close. Huh.
So close. Back then, I thought Sensei was acknowledging my skill. And I was close to becoming a true ninja. But I didn't know a thing about what it really means to be a ninja. I was still just a kid. Teamwork. Bonding with your comrades. Obito, Rin, and Sensei. All three of them taught me those essential points. And now, these kids finally get it. And it's up to them to pass on what they've learned to the next generation. The next era is just around the corner. And me, well, sooner or later I'll...
There he is!
Hey! Kakashi-sensei!
Come on! Lady Tsunade has a new mission for us.
Let's go already!
Right, I'm on it. But I'd better keep an eye out just a little longer. I'll be back.
What were you doing anyway, Kakashi-sensei?
Huh? Well, how do I put it?
Just spacing out again, I bet.
Not exactly. Just thinking about life. I got wrapped up in my thoughts.
Yeah, I see.
New missions rock, right? Aren't you psyched, Sakura? Aren't you? I am.
I swear, you have a one-track mind.
Yep, you know it.
the shadow of the new invasion. The shinobi world believed that after so many wars, after so many deaths, peace had finally been achieved. Kaguya had been defeated. Madara was dead. The gods who once threatened all existence had vanished. The new generation grew up believing that darkness would never return, that the sacrifices of Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, and so many others would be the foundation of an era of tranquility. But silence. Silence never lasts forever. And on the stillest night, as the wind blew calmly over the villages, the sky began to tear. It wasn't thunder, it wasn't storm clouds. It was glowing fissures, cracks in the very fabric of reality. The light emanating from these wounds was cold, cutting, almost divine, and from them began to descend pale figures, with pitiless eyes and slender bodies. Horns adorned their heads, and in their presence the earth's chakra seemed to shrink in fear. They were the Otsutsuki, ancient gods who had never given up on claiming the human world as their own. Chakra planting. Villages were burned in a matter of minutes. Children cried. Shinobi fell without even understanding the force they faced. Each Otsutsuki sucked the warrior's life energy as if they were nothing more than insects. Screams of pain spread across the field, while the moon reflected the chaos like a silent witness. Amidst the destruction, a man walked among the rubble. Kakashi Hatake, the retired 6th Hokage, now older, with lines of worry etched on his face and the weight of so many battles on his shoulders. He no longer possessed the Sharingan. His strength was no longer the same, but his tired eyes still carried the flame of responsibility. As he watched a group of young ninjas fall, drained of chakra by one of the invaders, Kakashi felt his heart sink. An Otsutsuki with long white hair raised his voice, his tone firm and cold, as if laying down an absolute law. This world belongs to us. You are nothing but cattle. Kaguya left you behind as an offering, and we have returned to reap what is rightfully ours. His words echoed like thunder. Each syllable was a death sentence for the shinobi still resisting. Kakashi gritted his teeth, feeling the weight of helplessness. He remembered the boy he had once been, remembered Minato, his sensei, remembered Rin, whose death had marked his life, remembered Obito, whose shadow had never left him. They were all dead. They had all left a piece of themselves within him. But in that moment, seeing young people from the Leaf begging for help, he wondered, was he still capable of protecting anyone? One of the survivors ran to him, tears in his eyes, his voice choked with despair. "Kakashi-sama! We need you. You are our last commander. Without you, we have no hope." The words struck Kakashi like sharp blades. He, once called the copy ninja, who had led Team 7 and commanded the Fourth War, now felt empty. His heart screamed that he should fight, but his body wavered. His knees buckled, and he fell onto the broken stones of the field, bracing one hand on the ground covered in blood and ash. Only a whisper escaped his mouth. "Minato-sensei. Rin, Obito, you sacrificed everything for this world to have peace. Have I failed? Could this be the last battle of my generation?" Chakra blasts exploded all around. The air became thick, suffocating, every breath a struggle. Energy bolts sliced through the sky as the Otsutsuki advanced relentlessly. Kakashi tried to rise, but a wave of destruction hit him full on. His body was hurled against the rubble, and his vision began to darken. As he fell, he could still hear his allies' cries, "Kakashi-sama! Hold on!" But his eyes grew heavy, his body unresponsive. And then, everything went black. Darkness took over. And in the shadows, the past that had never left him began to awaken again. The reunion with Obito, the void, a space with no ground, no sky, no horizon. It was as if time itself had stopped. Kakashi slowly opened his eyes and realized he was no longer on the battlefield. The noise of the explosions, the screams of pain, the roar of the Otsutsuki, everything had vanished. Only a deep, piercing silence remained, capable of crushing the soul of anyone who felt it. Before him, the white immensity stretched endlessly, as if it were the interior of his own mind. Confused, he raised his head, and in the distance, a silhouette began to form. Kakashi's heart raced. He knew that walk, that posture, that look. The figure approached, and little by little the contours became clear. Black hair, piercing eyes, scars that spoke of a lifetime of pain. It was Obito Uchiha. Kakashi's eyes widened, shock mixed with an old pain that never healed. His voice was low, almost choked. "Obito. No. This can't be real. You died. I saw it. I felt your departure when you gave everything in that war." Obito crossed his arms, maintaining a half smile, like someone looking at an old friend who insists on denying the obvious. His voice echoed loudly in that empty space. "Do you really believe we've parted ways? You carry my weight, my choices, my mistakes, and also my will. Kakashi, you've never walked alone. I've been with you from the beginning." Kakashi lowered his head. Memories came back like blades to his mind. Rin slumped in his arms, Obito's despair as he watched her die, the darkness that consumed him when he became his enemy, and the ultimate sacrifice when he chose to save the world rather than destroy it. Kakashi's eyes filled with tears. I'm not that ninja anymore. I no longer have the strength you once trusted. I no longer have the Sharingan. Look at me, Obito. I'm old, weak, tired. How can I fight those monsters out there? How can I ever save anyone again?" Obito frowned, his voice rising with intensity. "Do you think strength was always in those eyes? Do you think being a ninja is just about having power? Kakashi, you've always been more than that. You carry within you our pain, but also our hope. If you give up now, everything Rin sacrificed, everything I sacrificed, will have been in vain." The words echoed, and the white space began to vibrate as if it were about to shatter. Suddenly, images appeared around Kakashi. He and Obito as children, training together. Rin smiling. Team Minato running through the fields. The moment Obito was crushed by the rocks and handed over the Sharingan. The battles against Madara and Kaguya. The war that seemed endless. Each memory was accompanied by a deep pain, but also by a flame that reignited in his heart. Obito stepped forward, looking Kakashi straight in the eye. "Get up, use my flame, use my fury, use my hope. I'm not gone, Kakashi. I'm still inside you. We've always been one. What you fear losing is already inside you." Kakashi felt intense pain burn in his eyes. He fell to his knees, clutching his face. It was as if fire coursed through his veins, burning every fiber of his soul. His screams echoed through the void, and Obito simply watched him, unwavering, never looking away. Then, the darkness gave way to an intense red glow. Kakashi raised his head and, reflected in Obito's gaze, saw the hypnotic flaming pattern of the Mangekyo Sharingan reappear. Not in just one eye, but in both. Both eyes glowed like live coals. His breathing became heavy, but his heart beat with renewed strength. Panting, Kakashi murmured, "So, you never left me, Obito. I understand now. You're with me." Obito smiled a serene smile unlike any Kakashi had ever seen on him. He began to fade into light, but his last words remained etched in Kakashi's mind. "Show them. Show these false gods the true power of our bond. Show them that not even fate can separate our flame." The white field began to crack like shattering glass. Shards of light fell around, and Kakashi was engulfed in a flash. In an instant, the void disappeared and his eyes opened back onto the battlefield. But now, his eyes were no longer the same. The power of the Mangekyo Sharingan burned like never before. The awakening had begun. The reborn Mangekyo. The dust of battle still covered the sky when Kakashi opened his eyes back to the devastated field. His body was wounded, the air heavy as lead, but something had changed. The red flames of power burned in his eyes. The Mangekyo Sharingan, which had once vanished with Obito's death, was now reborn in all its fury. Not just one eye, but two. The hypnotic fiery glow swirled in complex patterns, as if each stroke were a memory, as if each circle were a piece of Obito and Kakashi's souls united in one destiny. The ninjas who still resisted, bloodied and lying among the rubble, looked up in astonishment. One of them cried out in a choked voice, "Look! His eyes, it's the Mangekyo! Kakashi-sama has returned." The murmur ran through the survivors, rekindling a flame that had been extinguished by hopelessness. For the first time that night of horror, they believed that perhaps there still was a chance. A pale-skinned Otsutsuki with whitish eyes advanced at breakneck speed. Laughing scornfully, "Do you really think 2 human eyes can change fate? We are gods. This world is merely fodder for our clan." Kakashi, motionless, merely raised his head. His eyes shone brightly, and the space around him distorted like a mirror shattering. The double Kamui activated, and within seconds, the invader's arm was sucked into another dimension, eliciting a scream of fury that echoed through the heavens. Silence fell for a brief moment. The ninjas stared at Kakashi, stunned, in disbelief. Kakashi took a deep breath, his silver hair swaying in the wind of destruction. His voice, firm and charged with emotion, echoed across the field. "Obito, I no longer fight alone. You are with me, and together we will protect this world, even if it costs me my life." The words echoed, and the entire field seemed to tremble. Bolts of blue chakra surrounded his body, lightning energy gathering in his hand. The sound of the Chidori rang out once more, as in ancient times, but now, the glow in his eyes made each strike even more lethal. The Otsutsuki gathered on the horizon, forming a circle. One of them raised his hands to the sky, and a gigantic sphere of chakra began to materialize, growing until it covered the moon. The light was so intense it turned night into day. The objective was clear: obliterate the Hidden Leaf Village and all survivors in a single strike. Fear coursed through every shinobi. But Kakashi didn't move an inch. His eyes burned. His heart beat in unison with Obito's. He raised his face to the sky and shouted, "As long as I draw breath, as long as the will of fire exists, you will never have this world." The air vibrated. His Mangekyo flared at maximum intensity, distorting reality itself. The space around him twisted in waves of energy. Obito's figure appeared in his mind, smiling, and a voice echoed within him, "Show them, Kakashi. Show them that we are one." The Chidori roared like thunder, and Kakashi advanced at a speed his enemies could barely keep up with. Each blow was guided not only by his strength, but by the flame of all he had lost: Minato, Rin, Obito, and all those who died believing in a better future. The Otsutsuki hurled their colossal sphere toward the earth. Impact seemed inevitable, but at the last instant, Kakashi concentrated everything, absolutely everything, on the power of his 2 Mangekyo Sharingan. Space opened, distorting that immense sphere, slowly sucking it into the void of Kamui. The effort tore at his body, blood streaming from his eyes, but he wouldn't give in. He screamed in fury, his voice echoing like thunder, "I will not allow it! This world does not belong to gods, it belongs to those who never give up." The sphere disappeared into nothingness. The battlefield fell silent. The Otsutsuki retreated for a moment, watching Kakashi with astonishment and fury. But the war was not over yet. They were still numerous, still powerful. But in that moment, the Leaf Ninja saw hope. For the first time since the invasion began, they felt they might be able to resist. Kakashi fell to his knees, panting, his eyes still glowing a fiery red. The war against the Otsutsuki is far from over. But in Hatake Kakashi's heart, Obito's flame burns brighter than ever. He no longer fights alone. He carries 2 destinies, 2 wills, a single gaze. And as long as that gaze exists, the ninja world still has a chance to survive. And so we conclude another chapter of this battle that continues to shape the fate of the ninja world. Did you enjoy the story? Then like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next What If, and epic theories from the Naruto universe. The shinobi world still holds many secrets and we'll explore them together. Thanks for watching this far, and see you in the next video.